In a minute. To make one look here thing. One disorganized dude, I can tell you. Okay, are we good? Yeah, we go. Just making sure this where it belongs. Uh, as you hope. Alright, well. 100 people. Yeah, pink. Jimmy. Pink. He's not pink. He's not pink. I'm making an old. I ain't using it. I don't need it. Good map. Good map. Does him well and he does. Action button. Can't do it. Got that to do. Oh, go away, you stupid bird. I don't want nothing to do with you. Begin. Nintendo's announced they are bringing Splatoon Raiders and Switch Sports E resort to a San Diego Comic Con. This will be the first US hands-on time for Switch Sports. But you're so jealous. I don't have a chance to go to San Diego. That is way out of my budget, way out of my distance. I want to go to the Electoral event in Columbus in November, but that ain't happening anytime. Ish. Everybody has good. I got to a 7-star recipient have looked. Obviously, it's a troll, and I hate people who do that. Trolls play the fun of doing them. They really do. I have a blitz, I think, by the way. Anyone ask, I have a blitz that like popped. The skin that got torn off from trying to pull a like start a chain, not a chainsaw. I was gonna say chainsaw. I want to say chainsaw. A weed eater. Trying to start a weed eater, and I ended up doing it. I said it ripped some skin off. Fun. Like I don't know. No. Ha ha ha! Funny. Nope. thing it is, they have lawn care services around here. You don't someone walk around like, hey, can I mow your dog with big dogs? No, that doesn't work. Yeah, there's actually like lawn care services. Yeah, this isn't the medieval times where kids go around mowing. Fell down a flight of stairs, but it's okay, it was my pocket. Wait. Did it fall? Did it slip out of your pocket? Did it fall down the stairs? Or did you fall down the stairs and it was in your pocket? Uh, like they have to have him win the title. Though it makes no sense for him to do the whole like voice thing. And the fact that we're using this stipulation already again. It took 7 years. It took 7 years to use the stipulation again. From when Cody did it to when Hangman did it, but then it only took him a few months between Hangman and Omega. Why? I don't get why we have to do this stipulation. They could have just made it if Kenny Omega loses to MJF, he can no longer try for the title while MJF is champion, and but MJF like, well, that's fine by me because I'm not gonna lose the title anytime soon, so that's good. So as long as it's just we can't be using that stipulation anymore. I don't think so because something went down at the beginning of 2022 between Cody and TK. And yeah, I know eventually Cody probably wanted to come back, but it isn't 100% sure that he was going to come back in 2022. Something went down. Him and TK and Cody swear to secrecy. They will never tell. It might be in one of their books. One of them write their autobiographies, or somebody they write their books write a book that will go public, be published when they die or something. Because the only time we'll find out. But for now, we can only assume that I just feel like when it came to that, Cody Rhodes was told by Tony Khan that he was no longer going to use his wife. That obviously nobody would Cody Rhodes was a top draw in AEW at the time, but of course being a top draw in AEW means you're for the most part minus CM Punk is you're here in AEW, you're gonna be here in WWE for the most part. CM Punk, of course, being one of those that's not true. But he was a top draw in AEW. Why would you want to take one of your top draws, out of the world title picture? Who in their right mind would do that? Cody's dad wouldn't do that. Why would Cody want Tony Khan to do that? It doesn't make any sense. You're a brand new company. You're not even a year old yet, and you're taking one of your top names out of your world title picture forever. Which, of course, obviously, this is wrestling. Who keeps their word on stipulations? Who keeps their word? How many Terry Funk retirement matches were there in the 80s? I mean, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Those stipulations broken in companies all the time. WWE, WCW, ECW, TNA. Heck, TNA did a Feast of Fire a couple months ago where I know Steve Macklin's gone now, but Steve Macklin got the fired contract, but he didn't leave at the time. Yes, he's gone now, but when they did the whole Feast of Fire thing, he stuck around, he got reinstated, and had a whole feud with Mike Santana for the world title. So stipulations in wrestling. Oba Femi just won the King of the Ring. I don't know what he's doing. He's on vacation. But another one of these stipulation breaks. Oba Femi just won the King of the Ring, which the stipulation was you get a world title shot of your choosing. Broke that stipulation off the fight Brock Lesnar for Hell in a Cell. Why couldn't we have Cody Rhodes if Cody Rhodes would have did the right thing and went back on his word, and and the thing of it was he did the stipulation in 2019. It was 2022 when he was leaving AEW to go to WWE. If he would have went back on the stipulation, then obviously if Cody goes back on the stipulation, then you can't do it anymore, and people take it seriously, which is fine, because you shouldn't be doing it more than once anyway. That's the kind of stipulation. It's a once in a lifetime thing. You don't do it again. But here we are. The only way Cody would have stayed, the only way it would have worked for Cody to stay is he had to have gone back on the stipulation. See, I don't know why, and this thing just to drill at home, instead of him accepting the challenge, he should have went up to him. Is if I can't beat you, I don't have a career. Make it a career versus title match. MJF comes out and says, "Oh, I like that better. We're gonna do that instead." And Cody, you get MJF versus Kenny Omega, title versus career, which is a pay-per-view match at Redemption instead of on TV. The big stipulation matches should not be on TV. They should be on pay-per-view. I don't know why he's not doing this at Redemption. I mean, last week doing a world title match and all the stuff he did last week made sense because United States faced Bosnia and Herzegovina at the World Cup, and they got crushed by that match. There's no World Cup tonight. There is nothing but baseball tonight. There's no basketball. There's no hockey. There's no NFL. There's no nothing. There is nothing but baseball tonight. So I don't know why they are booking such a huge card tonight. Beach Break would have made more sense last week. I don't know why we're doing Kyle Fletcher versus Takeshita tonight. I don't get why we're having a pay-per-view level card tonight when there's nothing to go up against. I don't understand it. I mean, of course. That's what happens when you have a spoiled rich kid. See, I'd rather have a spoiled rich kid who loves wrestling than a grumpy old rich dude who hates wrestling running a wrestling company. Obviously. I mean, that's the big. It was gonna happen too. That's why he never went. That's why he never left WCW. It should have. He should have just. He should have never went. I mean, if he wanted to give his likeness and everything to 2K so he could be part of WCW Pack or something and be in the WWE game, that should have been it. Should have never stepped foot in WWE. Like, he should have just sat there, worked with 2K, got himself in the WWE 2K game, and never showed up in the company. Because they were never going to do anything special with him. Yeah, he got a world title match, which ended so poorly. Because obviously the buckle bomb by Seth Rollins nearly paralyzed Sting. And all that. If they wanted to do the interviews with like Stone Cold or maybe JBL or whoever else, do all that stuff, but like in a wrestling capacity, Sting should have never wrestled in WWE. Never. Maybe his final years in AEW would have been different had he not gone through that neck problem that he did in WWE. Maybe if he took a couple years off and just was like a legend. Like give him a Hall of Fame induction because he's a legend and he was in fact he was like the face of it he was like the face of WCW. all that stuff. But again, the wrestling point, and the only way he shows up at WrestleMania is to get his induction and be the night before, get to wave to everybody on the stage of WrestleMania. But in a wrestling capacity, he should have never wrestled in WWE because it was just dumb. I mean, the Sting showing up as the statue instead of Seth Rollins' statue thing was kind of funny, but that was it. Nothing else worked. The whole WCW NWO thing, NWO DX fight at WrestleMania with Triple H beat Sting was stupid. That was such a bad match. Like the NWO coming to help Sting never made sense. He was there, and like if it was the Wolfpack, maybe because he was part of the Wolfpack at one time, but not the regular NWO. That made no sense. Yeah, well, obviously because the Click themselves really didn't start becoming a problem until Hunter showed up. Like the Click was, of course, before Hunter showed up, just Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Shawn Michaels, and Sean Waltman, I believe. And they were just a bunch of party animals. They didn't really do nothing. And then Hunter comes in, and all of a sudden they start taking over the backstage. They start getting into Vince McMahon's ear and just start doing whatever they want. And yeah, obviously. And Hunter, of course, never really earned a thing in his life, and he got into Vince's ear from start, got into his daughter's pants eventually too, and just like yeah, hey, that made no sense. If they would have did the Wolfpack somehow, Kevin Nash, they could have got some more of the Wolfpack instead of the NWO itself. It would have like, oh, that's cool, that's a callback to Sting, but nah, it was stupid. Sting's 2 pay-per-view matches he lost. The only matches, like Sting's record in WWE is officially actually 2-2 because he did lose his 2 pay-per-view matches, but on the only episode of Monday Night Raw he actually wrestled, he won a match by DQ, and then him and John Cena, they restarted the match as a tag team match, and him and John Cena won. So he's technically officially has a 2-2 record in WWE. He lost to Triple H. He lost to Seth Rollins. He beat, I can't remember who it was in a match on the tag team. He won a match with John Cena in a tag team match, and the match before that he won by DQ. So he's technically 2-2 that record, while being undefeated in AEW, which again I don't even know what that record was. Yeah, WrestleMania. That WrestleMania 31 was something else, so. Yeah. And and of course Sting went to AEW, not really expecting to ever actually have an actual wrestling match. The match they had with Sting and Darby versus Ricky Starks and Brian Cage, cinematic match. He thought that's all he was gonna do, stuff like that, you know. And then they had that match, and of course Darby, being Darby, talked him into, hey, you can do this still. And then we got Sting jumping off buildings and other stuff for the next few years. Actually, like the next 3 years, we had Sting in tag matches, jumping off buildings, jumping off onto everybody and stages and whatnot, doing stuff that he wasn't even doing. I mean, he did sometimes in TNA, but not that much. Not like every like most matches. And it's funny because Sting's retirement. Yeah, Sting retired, but his two sons eventually got into the wrestling business. Steven works for dark matches, Ring of Honor, AEW, and I believe works trains in the New Japan dojo. While his brother is, I don't know where his brother's at, but his brother also started training. I don't know if he's wrestling just yet or if he's training. But yeah, the Sting Boys are coming wrestlers. And Steven's out there wrestling. I need him to have a match, and Tony Schiavone, he show up in a match, show up to do a run-in, and Tony Schiavone's comedy, he's like, that's Steven! Just to be stupid. One time, he doesn't do it every time, but the first time he's gotta be like, it's Steven! My favorite matches while Sting was against guys like Kurt Angle and Christian Cage. Well, yeah. When Sting actually was wrestling with high-end talent. The thing about TNA, there's the one thing about Sting's run to TNA is he was wrestling high-end talent like Kurt Angle, like a Miz, like Christian Cage, like AJ Styles, and was getting the biggest thing that Sting did in WCW was the Crow stuff. I mean, in the Nitro era. I'm sure he did some big stuff. I mean, the whole Ric Flair feud back in the 80s. But the biggest thing he did was the Crow stuff, and it ended badly. It ended badly, and then of course eventually he joins the NWO Wolfpack for a spell before that goes, and all that stuff, and la-di-da. I mean, other than that, he really didn't do much. With anything. Remember in WCW. But in TNA, it's like his best moments, his best years were in TNA, no matter what anyone would say. Tony Khan would be like, oh, this Sting, and I'm sure he said it already, that Sting's best run was in AEW. And no, it was not. No, it was not. Sting's entire run in AEW was a tag team with Darby Allin. Sting's best run was in TNA. And he was feuding with Jeff Jarrett, won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship again. And I think he has the longest spell between the first time winning and the next time he won it. Winning the world title, feuding with AJ, feuding with Kurt, the main event Mafia. Joker Sting was fun. Nothing he did in AEW topped his TNA run. I'm sorry. Outside of probably his retirement match, whatever. selling 13,000 tickets to see him retire, which, yeah. It, Somebody to sit there and say his best run was at the AEW is just else. Not. It's not even close. His best run. Best things he did was go to, was to go to TNA and do all this stuff in TNA instead of going to WWE. That's just facts right there. Oh, it's facts. Like I said earlier, if Sting would have left TNA when he did and just had a retirement for a bit, came to did this whole thing where it was like, okay, 2K, you can have my likeness, you can have my face and all that, and do all that for your game. Oh, WWE want me to do a couple podcasts, want me to do Table for Three, which Table for Three is I love Table for Three. I don't care what anyone says. Table for Three was one of the best things the WWE Network ever gave us back in the day when it was being done. But oh, you want me to do a couple of those with people from WCW, people from all these other companies that we've done before? Sure, I can do that. Oh, you want to give me a Hall of Fame induction? Cool. I'm not gonna go wrestle in the ring, but I'll do a Hall of Fame. And he did, and that's all he did. And then he could have been a WWE legend, contracted legend, had that contract until it ran out, and when yeah, that's why. If he would have did everything but go wrestle there, like he could do podcasts, the Table for Threes, the podcast he did with JBL. He did a Hall of Fame induction. I think it would have been a lot better for him. He would have been better healthy. And when he came to AEW, then Tony Khan could have brought him in after that Legend deal came up, and he goes to AEW, has his career there, and because I think he didn't want to. I think he went to WWE because he didn't want the last thing to be seen was him walking on TNA the way he did, but he had really no choice. Because they were falling apart, and the fact that TNA is even around today is a miracle. That don't walk home with chocolate, but if you would eat. No, don't do that. It sucks when you walk home when you like go out and get a go. It's like go to the store. It's 95 degrees outside, and go buy some chocolate. You come back, it's all melted. Go get some ice cream. 92 degrees outside. You come back, it's all chocolate. You gotta put it in the freezer, but it's already the deal is already done. I'm sure it has. Oh, you know it's real chocolate when it's melted to beyond repair. When you put it in the fridge, if it's not melted that much, then it's not real chocolate. You know, Brown versus Vader in a ball. Vader more than likely. Wow. That's all right. That's fun. I'm a punk because we got to keep just building on nostalgia. How many Summer of Punks has CM Punk gonna have had? Ring of Honor, WWE. They tried an AEW, but it failed because he got hurt because of his stupidity of like, let me jump into the crowd and bust my leg up. So I missed for the first Forbidden Door. who knows? Like, knows how his AEW run goes if he doesn't get hurt there. I still have the belief that he was gonna be a one and done. He was gonna go to AEW, sign a 3-year deal, which he did, and then he was gonna be there for those 3 years, and he was gonna leave. He was never gonna, like, people thinking, oh, he's gonna like come here, he's gonna finish his career and all that stuff. Nah, he was gonna be there for 3 years. He was gonna be done, and then he was gonna go to WWE. Because obviously the fact that 2022 was when Triple H took over helped fuel that as well. He was gonna be there. He was gonna be there for 3 years. Hold the world title in his first year. Drop it to he was obviously supposed to drop it to MJF. At full year 2022, he was supposed to drop it to MJF, and then he was gonna be there, probably helping wrestling some guys he wanted to wrestle, and then he was gonna be like, thanks for coming, thanks for bringing me back, goodbye, I'm out of here. And that was always how it was gonna be. Does it put Titanic in? I get it, yeah, but you don't need to do it every freaking week. We don't need to see a title match every single week. The whole Derby Allin title run you diminish your world title by having a championship match for it every single week. That's ridiculous. Like, if you want to build to a match like Beach Break tonight, see, but that diminishes your pay-per-view. What's the point of having a pay-per-view if you're just putting all your title matches on TV? What's the point? Why have pay-per-views at all if you're just going to put your title matches on TV? It makes no sense. He needs to get out of that mindset. He needs to get out of that mindset, or the AEW will suffer for it. You can't just sit there and go, oh, well, I might as well just put them all on TV. Like, what's the point of building to a big title match? Why have Will Ospreay go to Wembley for the world title when you can just have it on TV? Just have them go to Wembley Arena and have the Dynamite Collision on there and have them wrestle for the title there. What's the point of pay-per-view TV title matches if you're just going to put all your title matches on TV? You have titles for TV. You don't put the world title on TV on a weekly basis. That's what the TNT title's for. That's what the Continental Championship is for. The AEW World Title and the International Title should be defended on TV, on pay-per-view, while you have the TNT title and the Continental Championship defended on TV weekly. If you want to do that. I would like, if I asked that question and he answered that, I'd be like, that's a terrible mindset, man. That is a terrible mindset. That is just that diminishes your pay-per-views. It diminishes your world championship. You have other championships that you could put on TV on a weekly basis. You want to do a TNT title match every week? That's fine. You want to do a Continental Championship eliminator every week? That's fine. But the world title should not be on TV on a weekly basis fighting for the championship. That is what pay-per-view is for. That's the big belt. That's the big championship that everybody should be vying for. Not everyone's going to get a title shot, nor should they, because not everybody deserves a title shot. But that should be a title that you have to fight for, and not fight. And you should have to, and people should have to pay to go watch that match. It's utterly ridiculous. But again, if you're doing like, Beach Break tonight. If you were building and like back when AEW first started, they had 4 pay-per-views. You had so much dead time between pay-per-views, and you wanted to have a special show like a Beach Break, Fight for the Fallen and all those things, and you do one a month, and it was like, okay, you're building towards a non-pay-per-view month, non-pay-per-view month special episode. That's fine. But no, we should not be seeing like MJF defending the title last week. He's defending it this week. And no, we should not see another title match until Redemption. Enough of the garbage. So good. Who knows what's going on forever? No. Stop doing that. Stop having fun. You're not allowed to. What's with that? That's so. No one asked for that for sure. An NWO belt, nobody asked for that. With Hollywood Hogan. Nintendo Switch Online members starting today receive standard shipping of $1. What? What? Yeah. Now they had a well, they have this. This is a spinner belt, isn't it? Yeah, that's a spinner belt, more than likely. Now, if it was the NWO logo and not just Hollywood Hogan's face, it'd probably be a lot more. Like, yeah, nobody wants that belt. Nobody's gonna want that belt. Made a deal with the devil. If you can beat Henry for the NWO Championship, you can never challenge. Yeah, I don't like it. They can't have three people. They can't have two people currently in your company with that on as their um with that stipulation intact. Now, Tony Khan clarified with Hangman that it's a handshake agreement. It's not in a contract. Cody Rhodes, it was on. It was in. It was they did a whole contract signing thing, and they signed the deal, and it was in the contract. Tony Khan said that Hangman's is a handshake deal. So if they wanted to break the stipulation, and they could, it's not in writing anywhere, and the wording people need to take in is that can never challenge, aka he can't go, I challenge you. No, can't do that. Doesn't say anywhere that someone can't go, Kenny Omega, I challenge you to fight me for my world title. Technically, he got a world title shot, but he didn't challenge for it. Someone challenged him. That's the wording we need to go with. Like, that's the word that people don't seem to understand, is that they could, like, he could get a world title shot if he loses to MJF. He just can't challenge himself. Someone has to challenge him. That's the thing. Fat. I should be at like 3,000 something by now, but you know, I woke up way late yesterday and I was like, the first match was at me. I mean, trying to be on like 45 minutes. I was like, I'll just skip it today and I'll have to come back tomorrow. God. Any, uh, uh, God dang it. He likes start healing. And it's a win. Yeah, a win is a win anytime. He did it by cheating. Nope, a win is a win. Hey, hey, I can't. Yeah, dude won. Just listen. People need to quit complaining. Oh, say something. Yeah. No, why Sami Zayn's title reign ended. They could have gave it to him until Saturday night's main event. What I think they should have done. I'm leaving Sami Zayn thing. Why did Sami Zayn lose the title so quickly? Well, because he's not a top star. Like, it's real simple. Like, they could have done something. Like, I think what they should have done was have the title match between him and Cody. Utah interferes, costs the match to get thrown out. CM Punk makes his surprise return, and then you get a fatal 4-way at Saturday night's main event for the championship. And then Sami loses there. Why has Hiromu not made it already? Why is he not signed already? Evil left before him, and Evil's in WWE now as Naraku. But Hiromu left not too long after, and he hasn't been seen yet. Like, Hiromu coming to WWE talked about for a while. But the fact that it hasn't happened yet is what puzzles me. Like, I get it, the whole visa thing, gotta get your visa. Like, But it's been over half a year. In February, it's July. Like, he left after New Beginning. And David Finley both left at the same time. Him and David Finley at the same time. Finley and Gabe and Clark Connors as well. They all joined AEW not too long after. People became Naraku like a month or two later. Oh shit. We're at 800. 1,800. When did I start today? Was it Okay. Wish it was the same stuff. Alright, go on. That. Into the after Saturday. 19. $27.30. That beat that. A full Danhausen. That would not wear a deal for Danhausen. thought. Okay. Missing. And it can go up to 1100 again. Yeah, 1,655. Over 1,000. You do that. 100 points. Oh boy, still not. Kind of matches. Not gonna do it. Here's one county rat. Oh, that's the biggest issue. Doesn't come, and it's like and that means they won't have a shiny out. And I fix this. I don't know why. I don't know why it's. I don't know. Oh, I could. Had to watch. Pretty sure. Haven't done that in a minute. Let's see. I remember this. Other channels where we go. Anything goes on the other channel. Not here though. Oh, what do we got here? We got Sword of Hope. Ooh, let's look at that. Maybe Fortified Zone, Royal Land, and Dr. Mario 2-in-1 games. Who cares about that? And 4 started. Good for that. Yeah. Well, let's spend another 9 minutes on the eShop. Why not? I'm on sale. Void Right, $6.99. $99 for Death Cabinet. I want Plucky Squire like so badly. Oh, I'm so mad I don't get to get Plucky Squire. Fun game. Hey, Moonlight Peaks, my sister actually just got that. Apparently, fun. Star Wars Monopoly. I don't have any money. 9 times 1999. Fun one. I would love to play this. Because it'd be something different. We could do that on Mondays and Thursdays and Honey Hunting. Honey Hunting. I know. When get a hold of I hope they have a great shiny hunting method and the shiny noise is in. That would be fantastic. So you're running around and there's ding, and oh, there's a shiny. I also hope it's not just one big open. I hope it's like open section, like PLA, PLA was. It's open section, the section of the map instead of hat and a hat. That's fine. That's how it. Alrighty, that's gonna be all for now. I'll be back over on the other channel for Dynamite tonight. I'll be back here tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a